Let's try that again. There's a mic. Perfect. Okay. Sorry about that. Still learning OBS here and there. But anyway, max voltage here. Just want to go over something pretty quick with you all. I was at a point where I needed to get a payout. I had over 0.1 and meant to get a payout before we went to 1559, but I didn't. So the changeover came a little earlier than I expected. I thought it was going to be like around 8:30, and it ended up being before 8 o'clock. So is what it is. And so anyway, so it got me a chance to experience getting a payout after 1559. And prior to making the request, I was pretty confused. I had set my my payout threshold at 25. I mean, we had seen that plenty of times before 1559, but it didn't seem like we were seeing it after. And so the more I looked into it, the more questions I had. So what I ended up doing was actually asking a question on the Ethermine support page. So this is mainly related to Ethermine, or the experience is specifically related to Ethermine, but I suspect this will be related to some of the other mining pools as well, although maybe Flexpool may have implemented a little bit differently. So let's first take a look at the Ethereum gas estimators, the gas oracles, because that's really where this is coming from. So for example, so here we have the new gas oracle. So a transaction at this particular moment, you have the base fee, which is about 33, and you have a priority fee of 5. So basically, transaction cost you about 38 gas. Not bad. So the problem is that the gas oracle is telling you to bid 76. So when you are bidding on Ethermine, if you bid what it will actually cost you, it will never go through. So you have to bid higher and know that your actual amount that you're charged is actually about half. In my case, it was a little bit more than half, and I'll show you the actual example of what I just did about a half hour ago. So anyway, this is where my question was, because I was sitting here going, are they just going to charge us this 65 plus the 1 or whatever this fee is, depending on which level they were going to choose, and basically make a profit on it? I was certainly hoping not, and that wasn't the case. They actually charged you what it was. So that was what I was afraid of. So what I ended up doing was going online. Bear with me here 1 second. And going online and actually asking the question to Ethermine. So bear with me here. Let me get that up here where I can see it. So basically asked them, hey, how are the payouts figured out? The threshold shown on Ethermine is so much higher than the current transaction fees. For example, Ethermine threshold was 109.15, but the base fee was only 46, and the priority fee was only 5 to complete the transaction, so a total of 51. Why can't we specify the maximum and a minor tip so the threshold is calculated on a current base fee instead of inflated one shown by the gas oracles? So he came back and said, hey, this is basically how it's done, but didn't really answer the question I was looking for. And I said, okay, but are miners charged the actual transmission fees? So most likely lower than what is shown by the gas oracles. And that's when he came back. He said, usually you will pay half of your configured max gas price. So answered it very clearly. Yes, you are going to get charged what they actually pay for your transaction. So when you're setting these thresholds, know that you need to set them higher than what you actually want or are willing to pay. So let me show you the example that I had. So this is my actual transaction. I did 0.12786 is what actually got transferred. My actual fee was 0.00080. Going from here to there is a little bit difficult, but basically this is 37.8 Gwei, is what I got charged. Now, my max fee, what I set as my threshold was 70. So, yes, I got charged a little bit higher than average, and this is going to vary. So, know that what you're setting it at is based on about twice what the current base fee is. But that's not to say that the next blocks could be higher or lower. So you could actually pay less than half, or you might pay more than half. But in general, on average, you're going to pay about half. So this is really key. I was sitting here thinking, man, I don't want to pay, 70, 80, 90 when the going rate had been much lower. I wish I had known this a while ago, and I would have been able to pay much lower. Because there was a time where I saw the gas prices were like 50, or the gas oracles were showing 50 or 60. So you would have been paying somewhere between 20 and 30, or 25 and 30. So anyway, I wanted to share this with everybody, make sure everybody knew what was going on. Hopefully I don't have any audio issues. Let me see here. So I'll answer any questions you guys have, but this was really interesting to me because I didn't know how to do this. And so I looked into it, found out how to do it. And so hopefully more and more people will understand this and be able to set their thresholds accurately. And if anybody has any experience with other mining pools, would definitely love to hear about it in the chat, or or if you're seeing this afterwards, in the comments. Let me see if anybody has any questions I can answer quickly. How do I give you a super chat? Yeah, you get me more subscribers and you get me more watch hours so I can be monetized, and then I can get super chats. Anyway, if Ethermine keeps up with the overpriced GUI fees, I'm going to Hivon. So here's the thing. So yeah, Hivon hasn't changed yet, but yeah, I'm not convinced that they're not going to change. This is going to be a significant fee, a significant cost to them. So everybody says, oh, well, they make all their money on their software. Yeah, I'm not buying that totally. They have a business to run, and they have a certain set of business expenses that they expect. I can't imagine that they're going to be able to take on the additional business expense, or want to. I shouldn't say that they can't, but that they would want to take on the additional business expense of paying out all these transaction fees, because it's going to be a significant over time. It's going to be very significant. So it's going to hurt the business. So anyway, I believe that they're going to change. But yeah, if you want to change now because they're not charging anything, go for it. One of the other things, though, to keep in mind is this, and this is old. Let me refresh this, because if you notice, I said it would be around 2.2. So sue me, I'm off by 0.02, but I said by this morning it would be 2.2. It was actually 2.21 this morning at 8 a.m. I did check it. But we're in the ballpark that I said last night we would be in. But one of the things to keep in mind is look at the profitability of the pool. So I'm on Ethermine 2.18. Hivon says 2.17 plus 0.01 MEV, equivalent to Ethermine. So yeah, they appear to be equivalent in profitability. That hasn't always been the case, but right now I would say that is, and that's slightly below average, as 2.18 ETH plus 0.02 ETH MEV is, so basically 2.2 is the current average. But again, you're within a very small margin of what the actual highest is. This one's 2.18 versus the average of 2.2. Anyway, so that's just something to keep in mind when you're deciding where you're going to choose your pool, what pool you're going to use. He is closed. I'm guessing that means closed for super chats. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't do no echo, no mini max voltage feels so good. Yeah, I am not really sure what that was, but anyway, I have a feeling it was an idiosyncrasy of my laptop. I think it had both the regular mic as well as the laptop mic on. I think that was part of the problem. Um, yes, I guess I did miss you complaining about Ethermine yesterday. Um, let's see. Yeah, they are still charging double Gwei, and I don't think they're changing it. Well, as you can see here in my example, they're not charging double. This is the 37.8. That was the actual. If we went to this time period, that is actually the minor tip plus the base fee. That it was the current amount at that time. So I'm not getting ripped off. I'm just getting charged what the actual was. So yeah. Um, yeah, if you're seeing something else, I'd love to see what you're seeing. But I did not see that I was getting double charged or anything. Um, so you've tested a lot of pools. Let me see. Um, yeah, I usually introduce myself. I've been trying to introduce myself on the streams. I just wanted to keep this one relatively short. But yeah, I'm Max Voltage and I look into weird oddities and things that people don't really think about, but are important to the business of mining. This is one of them. Understanding how to set your payout thresholds to make sure that you're maximizing your profits is a great idea. If you set it like I had it set at 25 Gwei, yeah, that's probably never actually gonna go through at 25 because that's when gas is like at 12. The base fee plus the priority fee is going to be around 12. It might get there on Sundays. Generally Sundays has been the time when you have the lowest gas fees. Been a little bit different lately. Sundays haven't always been that way, but in general, Saturday night into Sunday is usually the lowest period of time, just because I'm guessing because it's the weekend and people aren't thinking business at that point. So less trading going on. Let's see here. If you have a question for me, please at me in the chat. That would be helpful. Trying to go through all of this. Yeah, so I did notice you mentioned that in Discord. I definitely was, but the extra gas was put back into my pool wallet. Um, and that's kind of interesting, but at the same time, that kind of sucks because, let's say you're like right now, perfect example. Most of my GPUs, I shouldn't say most, some of my GPUs would be better off being on Ergo right now. It's more profitable. So what I have done in the past is when I've changed things over, I have the payout set really high. And then as it gets to the point where I won't be gaining any additional, with PPLNS, you do continue to get payouts as your average hash rate comes down over time. Depending on the pool, depends on the average that they take. Like Ethermine takes an average of 6 hours. And I believe that as you continue to lose hash rate over those 6 hours, you get paid out less and less. And there's a weighted average as well. So anyway, bottom line is you continue to get paid out. And what I would tend to do is wait until the payout was pretty much done and then change the threshold to be lower than where I was at. So I would get an immediate payout and I wouldn't have any extra left in the wallet or in the pool. So I wish I had done that in this case and I could have seen that actually happen where the money got returned because I saw zero. And I have to admit that looking at my balance, hold on. Going back. Yeah, I've already got 0.00179 in, just a half hour later. And that seems like that would be a bit much. That's like $5 in a half hour. It seems a bit much. So you might be right. I'll have to take a look at that, Crypto Duck. That's a great observation. So thank you for that. So I'll have to take a look at that. If anybody else has any experience with that, let me know. All right, let me see here. See, voltage won't kill you. It's current that kills you. So you don't need rubber gloves. It might give you a little, buzz sensation if you touch me without gloves, but just know, it won't kill you. It's just fine. Um, yeah, chump change. You're late. You're late. Heck, I spent half my evening helping you. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, um, yeah. So handyman, manual payout pretty much should work the same way. Um, I didn't try doing a manual payout. I tried setting my threshold. I wanted to see how that worked. So yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't tried that. Let me see if I take a look at that. So if I go to payouts, well, here, let me just bring this over here. Sorry, I'm trying to bring it over to where you guys can see it. So if we go to settings, yeah, I'm kind of doxing myself here, but yeah, I am doxing myself here. I'll definitely have to cut that out of this. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to show you that. Anyway, here, I'm gonna put it on the other so I can actually take a look at it. Payment method. Oh, this I could probably do. Request. I have point. Oh, maybe I don't. I don't have 0.005 ETH yet. So unfortunately, I can't even bring that. Yeah, I have 0.00179. So I can't even show that at this point, but I will take a look at that and report back on that. All right, let me go back to the stream so I can see. Oh, okay. Crypto Duck. No, you can't say gas on manual paths. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. So I appreciate you clarifying that. Yeah, it pretty much is wherever it's at. Now, the thing is you can watch where gas is, and if you see it hit a low point, initiate it. The problem is that it does take a little bit of time for Ethermine to initiate that transaction, so gas could jump up a little bit. But I can tell you that when I set the threshold, it was a minute or two later, my transaction had gone through. So that's impressive. As I think I had mentioned before, Flexpool, when I was on them, it took a while for transactions to go through once it got below the threshold. So it was possible to go below the threshold and then go above the threshold again and not ever have your transaction go through on Flexpool. Now, that was quite a while ago, so things may have changed, but I was impressed with Ethermine with how quickly it recognized that it had gone below the threshold and how quickly the transaction went through. So that was great. Yes, that's correct, CC. So yes, in my case, like I said, my example is I set it for 70, and at the time it would have been around 35. Like I said, it takes a little bit for the transaction to go through. Gas fees went up slightly, so I paid 37.8. So, but as CryptoDuck had mentioned, he was saying that that difference basically is probably what got put back into the mining pool. So it wasn't included as part of the payout. That kind of makes sense that is how it would work. But yeah, a little sad that you're not getting paid out the entire amount. I think a lot of things will change as people learn more. They perfect the interface. I'm hoping that at some point they'll actually allow us to specify the maximum transaction fee, as well as the minor tip. And that way, and also the fact that the gas oracles get improved as well. So, actually, that would be great if you could repost that. Actually, I would, if Tech Shinji or Chump Change are okay with it, maybe put it in the appropriate Discord and pin it, because I think it's important information for people to have. Yes, you made it to the live stream, Anonymous Miner. Thanks for coming. So Crypto Duck, from my experience with the manual payout, you can't set gas. It automatically charges you whatever gas is currently just doubled, but you do get the extra gas back. It's just irritating. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be learning about the wallet interfaces and the transaction interfaces. While a pool technically isn't a wallet, they're still doing the same thing that if you were transferring from wallet to wallet. So there's still a learning curve, and there will be improvements along the way. I had my GUI at 40 at first. I had to keep bumping it up throughout the evening, cause Ethermine said it was too low. Yeah, they're always going to tell you it's too low when it's not going to cause a transaction to go through. So if the gas oracle says it's 200 and you set it for 150, yeah, the transaction is not going to go through. So that's the key, is that, yeah, you won't pay that 200. You're going to pay closer to 100, even though you set it at 150. That to me is a little bit frustrating, but as I said, the gas oracles, I think, have to be improved. Handyman, in the end, I did a manual payout like 5 hours later, and when it did show up, it showed me 63 GUI. I clicked OK, and it went through. So did I pay half that? That would be my understanding. So what you can do is, let me see if I can do this. I should be able to do this without doxing myself. Hold on. Yeah, I should be able to do this. Okay. Just making sure there's not any personal information. No, I'm pretty sure this is okay. So you get to your, oh, that's luck statistics. That is not what I wanted. Where did it go? Here it is. This has my wallet address on it, but that's fine. Okay. So you go to your payouts and you scroll down to your payout, but you can click on this transaction hash. Okay. So if you click on that, that's what's going to take you to your transaction on etherchain.org. And this is going to tell you the effective gas price of your transaction and the max gas that you specified, or that was at that time that Ethermine specified. So hopefully that answers your question there. Okay, so you answered that. Thanks, Chum Change. I know. I'm a very unprofessional YouTuber, so I never like to assume anything. Okay, thanks. I appreciate it. I will take a look at that. That's very interesting to me. So appreciate you doing that. Wish I had gotten your information prior to this. I just thought this was interesting with what I found out. Let's see here. Going to do my last payout on Ethermine through Poly, then switch to Hivon unless payouts change. Yeah, like I said, I think Hivon's going to change, but we'll see. But I will say Hivon's profitability has gotten better. So, wait, what? What? You're playing StarCraft 2 and I'm not right now? What is wrong with you? Sorry. Who are you and what have you done with the chump change? That's what I want to know. Uh, just downloaded it too. Okay, thanks. You get a programming update. Oh, that's the chump change. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go because now I want to go play StarCraft. But anyway, and I didn't want to encroach too much on DCA's stream. So go over to DCA's stream. I am going to post it in the live chat in just a moment. Need to find it. Oh, why are you not typing? And there. And going to post it. Oh, it's just Doge Lord and Nemesis tonight, it looks like. So let me post that for you. So when you go over there, if you can do a max voltage raid, that would be great. Appreciate it. So, alrighty, guys. I already went way longer than I had hoped. So have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow night on the Misfit Mining stream. Talk to you later.